Wiki pages for simple interest formulas. I want to show you what you should do when you need to put a formula into your wiki page, what I'm expecting to see. So defining the terms, you'll just write a definition based on either my lecture or what you found from the book. When you get to the formulas, then what I want you to do is put a short description of the actual formula. So for the interest only formula, that's the one that's just going to give you the interest for simple interest. And so I wrote down interest is calculated on a lump sum one time at the end of the investment period. This formula gives the interest earned. And right now, it's probably best if you just write out a description like I give in my lecture, because I'm using phrases that are going to help us later to distinguish between all the different interest formulas that we're going to learn. And there's no way you could possibly know all the formulas at this point and know how to distinguish. So for now, take my word for it that you're going to want some of these phrases like lump sum and one time and so forth. And so try to just write down what I'm giving you in the lecture. And then you want to put the formula in. For the interest only formula, it's I equals P RT, or you might do it as we did in our notes, I equals present value times rate times time. Now, for the formula place, you can see I left a big spot. That's not so that you write way bigger than normal. That's so that you have space to list out each of the variables in the formula. So I stands for interest earned. P or PV, depending on how you want to write it, would be principal or present value. And that's also the starting amount. And then we have an R. That's going to be the rate as a decimal, and T will be time in years. So that's all you need to show for the formula, just the formula itself, and then each variable with a short description, so that when you come back to use this formula, you have a very good idea of what each part of the formula is. Keywords are meant to be words that help you distinguish between one type of formula and another. And for this formula, again, at the very beginning of this chapter, you're not going to know what words will help you distinguish because you don't know all the formulas yet. So you really need to listen in on the videos and kind of focus on what I'm telling you are going to be words that'll help you identify that we need this formula. And so some keywords that you need here would be simple interest, and you should see something like that in the words for a problem that you're using. Simple interest, and then you might also see how much interest was earned for an investment. So the future value formula is the other version of the simple interest formula. Calculates simple interest, but gives the total amount in the account. So it's going to be the interest plus the principal that you started with. And the formula here is going to look something like this, FV or just I think it's FV. FV equals P or PV, you could have one or the other, times the quantity 1 plus RT. And again, we want to list out each variable and a short description for that variable. So I have FV stands for future value. P, it could be a P or a PV in your formula, stands for principal or present value. It's the starting amount. R is the rate as a decimal, so you have to convert it from a percent to a decimal, and then T is time in years. So some keywords that tell you that you need to use this formula as opposed to the other formula that we just did above, or some other formula that we have not yet learned, would be simple interest. That's going to identify it. And then you would also need something like you're finding the total amount in the account, or you're being asked how much will you have, how much will you have, and that implies altogether in some number of years. So when I'm grading these formulas on your wiki pages, what I am looking for is a description that would be from what we did together in class online, or what you found in the book, and then the actual formula, one of the two forms. You don't have to write both ways that you could write each variable. That's fine. Just choose one and use it. I equals PRT, and then each variable described. That all is part of the formula section. And then under keywords, we're looking for words that help you identify to use this particular formula versus some other formula. So you might be able to come up with those on your own, but you probably should just be listening to the clues that I'm giving you during the lecture.